Dear students, hope you are all well. So, today we will begin with our next chapter in geography. Now, as you all know, we are all surrounded by oceans, and ocean plays an important role in our life. So, let us start with the lesson number 6, Importance of Oceans. So, before we begin with the lesson, let me quickly tell you the learning objectives for today's lesson. The learning objectives are hydrosphere, reasons for the salinity of ocean, salt pans, and fish. Now, in the previous standard, we have studied the lithosphere and hydrosphere of the earth. The proportion of land and water on earth and also the major oceans. The hydrosphere includes all the water bodies that exist on the earth. Now, which are the water bodies? This covers the oceans, seas, river and their tributaries. Now, your tributaries means the different branches of the rivers, lakes, or the reservoirs. Now, the difference between lake and reservoir is that the lake is formed naturally, whereas the reservoir is an artificial lake where water is stored. Now, most reservoirs are formed by constructing dams across rivers. And the another form of hydrosphere is the last one, as you can see in the slide, groundwater. Now, groundwater is the water found underground in the cracks and spaces in soil and rock. Now, we get our drinking water from where? We get our drinking water from groundwater. So, groundwater is also used for irrigation to grow crops. So, groundwater is also used for crops. Let us move forward. Now, the area of each ocean is given in the following table. We will see that. The area in square kilometer of Pacific Ocean is 16 crore 62 lakh 40,977. Then the next one is the area in square kilometer of Atlantic Ocean is 8 crore 65 lakh 57,402. Then the next ocean is the area in square kilometer of Indian Ocean is 7 crore 34 lakh 26,163. The next one is the area in square kilometer of Southern Ocean is 2 crore 3 lakh 37,000, and the last one is the area in square kilometer of Arctic Ocean is 1 crore 32 lakh 24,479. So this is the area of all these oceans. Let us move forward. The next is, do you know? Now we always see the living world around us, right? We always see the living world around us. Now there is considerable diversity in the living world on land. We see, what do we see on land? We see people of different religion, language, lifestyle, color of skin, and hair. Now, all these people live together. This is called what? This is called as diversity. Similarly, the living world in the hydrosphere, that means in the water, is many times greater than the living world on the land. That means on the land, on the hydrosphere, in the oceans, it is more than the land. And it has a much greater diversity. These species range from various mammals, reptiles, birds, fish, etc. Now, fish are most likely the first thing you think about. When you think about what lives in the ocean, when you think about what lives in the ocean, the first thing that comes to your mind is the fish. Now, throughout the ocean, fish range from all shapes. Now, in the ocean, as you can see in the picture, there are different types of fishes from all shapes, sizes, and colors. And all the combinations are imaginable. For example, the fish from mackerel family, their bodies are highly adapted for quick speed. They have quick speed with a streamlined body. So marine mammals are also highly recognized and includes whale, dolphins, etc. So in the oceans you find different kinds of fishes, different sizes, different colors, different shapes. So they also have diversity. Let's move forward. The next is activity 1. We will do one activity. Use the following ingredients: 1 bowl of rice flakes, 1 teaspoon of oil, 1 tomato, and a small onion diced, that is diced means chopped, chili powder to taste. Then what you have to do? Mix all the ingredients well. Give the mixture to all your friends and ask them to taste it. When you finish making it, you have to give the mixture to all your friends to taste it. Now what you'll do is, now after that, add some salt to the mixture and taste it again. First you have to not add salt. After, first when you taste it, then later you have to add salt and taste it. Look at the questions given there. The first one is, what difference do you notice in the dish you tasted earlier and later? Then the next question is, what do you think made the dish really tasty? And the last one is, for what are the purposes do you use the last ingredient at home? Okay. Now, yes, look at the first answer will be, the first answer is that the second dish was tastier. Okay. The second answer is, it was more tasty because of the ingredient which was added to it. Now, which was the ingredient which was added to it later? That ingredient was salt. Okay. And the third answer is, where all we use salt. So we use salt in our kitchen for almost all the ingredients or all the items that we prepare. We require salt in all the things that we prepare. Why? Because it gives us taste. Okay, let's move forward. Now the next activity. Now here what you have to do is, take some water in a steel dish. It is better that the water is from a bore well. Okay, you can see the picture of a bore well given below. Now what you have to do is, keep the water in direct sunlight. Then later, do not remove the dish. Okay, you have to not carry the dish. So do not remove the dish until all the water gets evaporated. As you can see in the picture, there are 2 plates. Okay, so you have to not remove the dish till all the water gets evaporated. Now observe the dish after the water has evaporated completely. So the second dish You observe it and see that the water has evaporated completely. Now, what do you see? Then what you have to do is taste the substance in the dish, the plate which is the water is evaporated. You must have noticed that after the water evaporated completely, a whitish layer is left, right? A whitish layer is left in the dish. And if you taste it, you will find that it is salty. You will realize that these are the salts in the water. In drinking water, the proportion of salt is quite low. When you drink the drinking water, that is not salty. Why? Because the drinking water salt is quite low. Water from oceans and seas have greater amount of salt. Now, when you might be going to the beach also, when you might be playing in the water, by mistake the water goes into your mouth, that water is very salty. Hence it tastes salty. Let's move forward. Next is reasons for the salinity of ocean. Now, there is abundant aquatic life in the ocean. There are a lot of fishes, lot of aquatic life in the oceans. Different types of living things are found in the oceans. Once they die, okay, once those living things die, their remains accumulate in the ocean. Can you see in the picture? Accumulate means get gathered in the ocean. This can lead to the saltiness of the ocean. So these dead fishes, they get collected in the ocean. This also leads to the saltiness in the ocean. This can lead to the saltiness of the ocean. Also, the sediments. Sediments means solid materials. Okay, you can see in the picture that move from one place to another and get deposited in a new location. Sediments from eroded lands. You can see it in the image. Then trees and dead remains which flow from river and which finally come into the ocean. This can all lead to the salinity of the ocean, the saltiness in the ocean. Next is volcanic eruptions. Now, volcanic eruptions occur on land, right? Similarly, volcanic eruption also takes place in the ocean as well. Now, the first picture you can see, that picture is of a volcanic eruption occurring on a land. And the second picture is volcanic eruption taking place in the ocean. Now, during volcanic eruptions, different minerals, ashes, salts, and gases are added to the water. This also increases the level of salts and minerals in the ocean water. For example, when the volcanic eruption occurs, a lot of water vapor, carbon dioxide and gases like chlorine is released into the ocean water. The chlorine dissolves into the ocean and then combines with the sodium to get sodium chloride, which is nothing but the table salt, the salt which we use or the salt that we use for our consumption. Okay. Then the next is evaporation of water. Now, due to the continuous evaporation of oceanic waters, the proportion of salt increases. Okay, in the oceanic water, due to evaporation, the salts go on increasing. All these things make the ocean water salty. The salinity of ocean water is different at different places. That means the taste of the sea water is different at different places. Salinity is expressed in terms of mils, that means particles per thousand. The average salinity of ocean waters is 35 per mil, whereas in the Dead Sea, Okay, Dead Sea is known to have the maximum salinity. Its salinity is 332 per mil. Okay, let's move forward. Now, how do we obtain salt? Okay, we obtain salt from the salty waters. Now, salt as a substance is obtained by constructing salt pans. Now, you must have seen somewhere salt pans, like they look like a mountain shape. The process of salt making is given below. Now, you can see there are 5 pictures. That is the process of making salt. Firstly, just look at the first picture. Okay. Firstly, small ponds are built. Can see over there? Small ponds are built to store seawater into it. The water accumulated in the ponds start getting evaporated due to the direct sunlight. That means the water becomes less. Since the salt is heavier than the water vapor, small crystals of salt are left behind in the pond. Once the water is completely evaporated, the salt is collected into small heaps. You can see there's one man, right? So the salt is collected into small heaps. When all the salt is collected, it is sent to the process of purification. Okay, you can see the last step, right? It is sent for purification. And finally, we get pure salt for consumption. Okay, we get pure salt to eat. Let's move forward. Next is properties of salt. Now, many minerals like phosphate, sulfates, iodine, etc. are obtained from the sea. We depend on oceans to some extent for minerals. We get minerals from the oceans. Next is, can you tell? Now see the pictures and answer the following questions. The first one is, what items are included in our diet? Your answer will be, we use almost all of these items in our diet, right? We mostly have all these items in our diet. Now, it also depends on whether you are vegetarian or non-vegetarian, right? The second question is, which items among these shown come under non-vegetarian food? Now, among these items, which comes under non-vegetarian food? They are the mutton curry, pomfret fry, prawns fry, and chicken curry. These are all non-vegetarian food items. Okay. Then the third question, which of these are prepared from aquatic creatures? Now from all these dishes, which items are used by using aquatic creatures? They are pomfret fry and prawns fry are prepared from aquatic creatures. Okay. Let's move forward. Now let us see the uses of fish. Now many of us include fish in our diet, right? Many of us eat fish. We can fish from where can you catch fishes? We can fish from rivers, lakes and seas. The proportion of fish in seas is much greater than those in rivers and lakes. Now, more fishes you will find where? In the sea. Catching marine animals is a large scale activity in the world. It is one of the ancient occupations of human beings. So, catching marine animals is one of the ancient, oldest occupation. The life of people from countries that have a coastline largely depend on the sea. That means people who are staying close to the sea. Mostly they are engaged in this occupation. Especially if there are few other occupation, though food is a major purpose of this activity, marine animals are also used for the production of fertilizers, pharmaceuticals. Now, pharmaceuticals, which means medicines, are also used in research. Let's move forward. Next is fish consumed in India. What all fishes people eat in India? In India, people mainly consume prawns, clams is the second picture, crabs, seerfish, mackerel, pomfret, Indian shark, Indian salmon, etc. Many other types of marine animals are also consumed in different parts of the world. Let's move forward. That is your homework. The first question is the average salinity of ocean water is dash percent. Next, rivers flowing from mountain or hilly areas finally meet the dash. Next one, how do the dead remains decompose in the ocean? And the last one is, how is salt obtained from the ocean? That's all for now. We will learn the other part of the lesson in the next video. Thank you for listening, children. Goodbye. Take care.